Meta. No, not the megacorp owned by a swarm of locusts crammed into a dude costume. This meta. Like it or not, if a game exists, it's gonna have some form of meta, and Warthunder is no exception. Over time, Warthunder's meta has shifted dramatically as new vehicles, mechanics, and balance changes have been introduced. Consequently, many once great vehicles have been crushed in the wake of these changes. Today, I'd like to pretentiously ramble about one such victim of this phenomenon. A heavy tank that went from being a waffle stomper to a waffle stompee. I'm of course referring to the Sherman 75 Jumbo. This tank is pretty polarizing in the community. Some say it's still great, while others claim it's about as useful as an air freshener in a septic tank. I figured I should take matters into my own hands and find out whether it deserves its bad reputation, or if it's just one giant skill issue. But first, allow me to give you a rundown of the Jumbo's history in Warthunder. The M4A3E2, yes, that's its legal name, was added to the game all the way back in 2014 as a part of the 1.45 Steel Generals update. Gotta give it to them, pretty great name for the update because they added a bunch of US tanks that were named after generals, and the tanks are made of steel, so they're generals made of steel. Initially, the Jumbo sat at a BR of 4.7, where most agreed it was pretty good, if not downright overpowered. Not because of its armament, as it packed the same 75mm cannon as most other Shermans, but because of its gigantic, voluptuous, dummy thick 2012 Kim Kardashian-esque armor plates welded to its front and sides. These additions effectively double the thickness of the tank's armor at the cost of making it just slightly slower, which is a pretty good trade-off considering that frontally it's capable of stopping rounds from almost anything, up to and including Herr Chris's favorite, the cannon of the Tiger I. After a few months, it was bumped up to 5.0, where it was still very competitive. Then it jumped to 5.3, which is when some cracks started to show gameplay-wise.
Oh, try me, bitch.
Its armor remained as formidable as ever, but its anemic standard-issue 75mm gun began to have difficulties frontally penetrating some enemies. The combination of a suboptimal gun and exceptional armor meant that you couldn't be easily destroyed, but at the same time you weren't terribly capable of destroying others. It became sort of an inverse glass cannon. A glass made of cannon, so to speak. But the Jumbo's true quote-unquote downfall came when it was moved to 5.7. Now, the issue isn't with 5.7 itself, as in a same-tier game your performance will still be really good. The issue is that 5.7 is within range of the supermassive black hole colloquially known as BR 6.7. So 9 out of 10 times you load into a game, it'll be a full up tier. Using this at 6.7 is like sending one of those wheeled chihuahuas you see on Instagram to go fight a pack of cane corsos. For reference, this is the American T-34, the premier US heavy tank for 6.7. Look at it. Firstly, it's massive. Secondly, it has an insane amount of armor. And thirdly, it packs a 120mm main gun. Oh well, that's a whole BR point up, of course it's gonna be that. Here's the T1E190. Has the exact same battle rating as a Jumbo, except it's more survivable and has a 90mm main gun, not to mention a coaxial 37. But at least those are on your side. That doesn't apply to one of 6.7's most commonly found apex predators, the Tiger II. Unlike the Tiger I, it is very much capable of sending rounds clean through your Jumbo like crap through a goose. And this, as said earlier, is just one of the many vehicles of this BR that can absolutely touch you. To put it bluntly, the 75 Jumbo has been completely flattened by power creep. Well, at least on paper. See, there's one very important factor I left out of this discussion. Skill. Being a US tank and a medium battle rating, it fights almost exclusively German vehicles. I assume you're seeing where I'm going with this. If so, say it with me. Germany players are stupid! Most of the fatherland's finest who play in the late war BRs are saddled with massive superiority complexes sweetened with both a lack of situational awareness and negligible critical thinking skills. By taking advantage of these deficits, your Jumbo can still do really well even in a full up tier. To elevate your Jumbo from being one of the worst heavy tanks on paper to being one of the best in practice, you need to do something a little bit counterintuitive. You almost need to play it like a light vehicle. Almost like a... oh no. No! Yeah, you knew that was coming, didn't you? I'm now going to use the next 15-ish seconds to tell you to go buy my new mug and record yourself drinking a serving of 4% milk-fat cottage cheese out of it. Link down below. There are also stickers and shirts. If you do, send it to me. I'd find it funny. Anyways, as mentioned previously, the 75mm cannon's lack of accuracy and penetration are big issues, unless you're as cracked as me. Oh my god! Oh, cream! Oh my god, I'm actually gonna blow in my trousers. That was the creamiest shot I think I've ever hit. That was the creamiest cupola shot I've ever hit. But by being a sneaky little dingus, you can work around them. Just try to get a good position adjacent to a high traffic area, and then sit there like a barnacle until some painfully oblivious players, probably humming the Panzer lead, and thinking about how Kursk would have turned out differently if he'd been there, rolls past. Then, slime him out. Rinse and repeat until you either win the game or get turned into a live leak video. But if adopting the sit around and wait strategy of a trapdoor spider doesn't sound appealing to you, it is somewhat viable to play more aggressively in the Jumbo. It all hinges on getting your opponents to underestimate you, which, since we're dealing with mostly Germany mains, isn't very hard. One interesting assumption your opponents often make is that your cannon can't possibly pin their nearly impenetrable superior German armor. Thus, they'll often sit out in the open, unprotected, blithely waiting while you get ready to remind them who won the war. Though even if they do spot you, they'll likely fire center mass, thinking that you can be one shot from the front like any other Sherman. And assuming they're not in a Tiger II or something else capable of outright hole punching your front armor, their round will do absolutely nothing, leaving you free to line up a shot on one of their weak points. Oh yeah, and it should be obvious by now, but avoid big open spaces, especially in a full up tier for obvious reasons. So despite what many in the community would want you to think, the Jumbo is still a very competitive option for a 5.7 ground lineup. You just need to alter your playstyle greatly depending on the battle rating of your match. For down tiers and same tiers, you can pretty much just play it like a heavy, but if you get an up tier, rat. Don't kill me! For this reason, the 75 Jumbo definitely requires more skill and finesse than most heavies, but in the hands of a D1 autist who knows how to work with its quirks, it can be a menace at any tier it's in. But what do you think? If you enjoyed this video or have something to say or somehow managed to learn something, leave me a comment saying so. While you're down there, I'd really appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe. Also, I'm going to be giving away 10,000 Golden Eagles to one lucky fan when I hit 10,000 subs. To enter, just like, subscribe, join my Discord server, and comment some variation of "My chair smells like farts."
Okay, goodbye.